Isolation, when I think of that concept, makes me think of somebody who is alone and disengaged with the world around them. It would be a disconnected state of mind, and one that's quite solitary. I think you can become isolated for lots of different reasons. Very often it might be because there's something stopping your engagement with the world, so maybe you can't get your voice heard, or you can't make yourself understood, or you don't understand the world around you. It could work both ways. And lots of things in society can help to create isolation amongst different people. If you don't fit into the mainstream for whatever reason, you can end up alone and without much interaction, and that would make you feel very isolated.
My experience of feeling isolated and alone is when I don't have an interpreter present and communication breaks down. I encounter obstacles to communication. My confidence vanishes. I feel frustrated and lonely. So really for me, isolation means isolation from the wider community when I don't have communication support.
Well, I think there's probably not one definition of isolation. There's probably different types of isolation. But some of the things which I think would be common to the word generally, or the definition generally, would be a sense of being apart or separated in some way. And I think there would also be some element of aversiveness or unpleasant sensation connected to that. So rather than solitude, which people may often talk about as being something where they feel quite at ease with themselves and their surroundings, I think isolation would be maybe imposed on someone, or be something someone was struggling with to some degree. If someone I was working with said, "Oh, I'm feeling isolated," I generally see that as some kind of problem, that they were seeking some connection, either from me or from something in their kind of wider life. And in terms of thinking about different types of isolation, I think the most maybe the most obvious one would be kind of the physical isolation, someone who lives in a remote community or due to some physical difficulty is unable to reach other people or other resources. And then there may be other types of isolation around
the community. That when I say, for example, I can't communicate with an interpreter, that we could just kind of like cut in such a way that the interpreter's not present. I don't know, you can show that visually through the edit.